This is Valley News Live at 10.
Well, it was a gorgeous day outside today, but I know some changes are headed our way. Let's toss it right on over to Hutch to see what our Thanksgiving weather will look like this week. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Kaylee. As we head into the overnight hours, we're going to undergo those changes, and by morning it'll already be snowing and blowing across portions of the area. Now, all of us will have wind gusts, and that potential is for gusts over 40 miles per hour throughout the day. Snow showers mainly between 7 in the morning at noon will be hit and miss and in pockets. And when they do hit with wind like that, it's going to reduce visibility, cause some spotty areas with icing. And the bottom line is we're expecting a dusting for most areas, but upwards of a ½ inch or so of snow up north. So this isn't a big weather making system as far as snow depth goes, but because it's such a big travel day, we want to give you that first alert to what you can expect. North winds develop first, gusting to 40 miles per hour. 5 to 7 a.m. the cold front moves in, and we'll have some batches of snow that last all the way until the midday hour. Right now, as we head to bed, temperatures are dropping all the way down into the 20s up north. Tomorrow, after the snow shot in the morning half of the day, it gets cold. I'll have details on that. We'll look ahead towards that return trip home after Thanksgiving in a few moments.
Thanks so much, Hutch. Well, this year, 2 million more people are expected to do some holiday shopping, and some overspending. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor shares how some are trying to stick to their budget.
There are just a few days until Black Friday, but shopping centers and malls are already seeing more shoppers.
Traffic, customers are up over 2019 actually, as well as sales.
But how much are people willing to spend?
Right now, I'm not going to be spending too much, but I'm going to watch what I spend so I don't get homeless.
Rising prices and people still trying to recover from the impacts of the pandemic can add to the pressures of holiday gift giving.
I feel that a little bit of stress, a little bit of worry, but with good Lord as my Savior, I know that I'm going to persevere through this, and the people that I have on my list, I'll be able to provide for them.
Some say you just have to know your limits.
You know, watch what you spend, because we don't know if the COVID is going to come back, but I'm not praying for the COVID to come back. But if it comes back, I mean, I know I have some money that I've saved, so watch what you spend, save some money.
It's all about giving your means, just know where your means are.
A recent consumer report shows 70% of Americans overspend during the holidays. Some other ways to cut costs include creating a realistic budget, shopping early, and using credit card rewards. In Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Now, the National Retail Federation predicts that Americans will spend about $1,000 this holiday season.
3, 2,
It's the most wonderful time of the year at Broadway Square in Fargo. Fargo's 32-foot Christmas tree came to life today at the annual tree lighting. We spoke with an attendee who just moved back from New York, and she said Fargo's tree is a winner, even compared to the one in Rockefeller Center.
It's just as beautiful, in my opinion. The tree in New York, I think last year was 75 feet, and this one's 30, I believe. So a little bit different. New York has celebrities, but I gotta say Fargo has reindeer, and in my opinion, reindeer are cooler.
Now, the ice skating rink at the square will now open just a little bit late on Friday, weather permitting. People are reacting after Dilworth Police Department took to Facebook to call out an accused shoplifter. They posted a woman's ID online yesterday, writing, "Nicole, you dropped your bag and ID when you ran from loss prevention at Walmart Dilworth. If you want to get in touch, we can get that back to you. Hashtag Team Dilworth, all persons innocent until proven guilty." Commenters both applauded the department's creativity and lauded them for publicly lambasting someone who hasn't yet been charged. The family of a North Dakota farmer believed to be in prison in Ukraine is asking for state congressional help in securing his release. The sisters of 50-year-old Kurt Grozans tell Valley News Live that they fear for his safety. They believe their brother, who's from Ashley, North Dakota, is being falsely accused of trying to assassinate a Ukrainian agriculture official. The office of U.S. Senator John Hoeven has contacted the U.S. State Department. Commercial turkeys in Kandiyohi County, Minnesota have tested positive for the bird flu. Routine testing by the Minnesota Board of Animal Health led to the discovery. The board said today that this strain isn't the highly transmissible one from back in 2015, but a low pathogenic strain called H5. They say it does not pose a health risk to the public and that there's no food safety concern for consumers. The board says they quarantined the infected flock yesterday and are continuing to monitor and test them. A warrant is out for a woman accused of abusing her authority and having sex with an inmate in Devil's Lake. 36-year-old Chandra Jaquith is charged with one felony count of sexual abuse of a ward. Records say it happened with an inmate at the Lake Region Law Enforcement Center in February of last year, where Jaquith worked as a correctional officer. Federal law states inmates cannot legally consent, and if convicted, Jaquith faces up to 5 years in prison. The community is coming together to raise money for the family of the pregnant woman who was gunned down at work. Fargo police say that 35-year-old Anthony Reese opened fire on April Carbone and her partner Richard Pittman last week as revenge for being fired. Reese has since been charged with 3 counts of murder and faces the rest of his life in prison. Carbone was 35 weeks pregnant with the couple's daughter at the time of the shooting. Neither survived. The fundraiser is scheduled for December 19th at the Moorhead American Legion. Organizers say proceeds from a silent auction will go toward expenses related to their deaths. You can find more information on the event as well as a link to their GoFundMe on our website. It's valleynewslive.com. A Minnesota superintendent was sentenced today for driving while intoxicated. Police found 55-year-old Michael Gadbois in a car on school grounds at nearly 3 times the legal limit. He was sentenced to 28 days of house arrest and 2 years of unsupervised probation. Gadbois is the superintendent of Tri-County Schools in Carlstadt, Minnesota. He was placed on paid suspension last month, but this isn't Gadbois' first offense. His driving records show that he has 2 prior DWI charges in Alaska. A Grand Forks woman walked away unhurt after flipping her car this morning. It happened just before 10 on 5th Avenue North, and police say 32-year-old Samantha Dauphinius was turning a corner when she hit a parked truck, causing her SUV to roll. The fire department had to remove the windshield to get her out. Dauphinius was ticketed for care required. More devastating news for the tight-knit community in Wisconsin that was rocked by terror during a Christmas parade on Sunday. A child died today after being injured in the attack, becoming the 6th victim in the massacre. Now, the man who police say turned the parade into deadly chaos has made his first court appearance this evening. John Loring has the latest.
Hands up! Put your hands where I can see them! Whoa! Hands up!
The moments police arrested Darrell Brooks caught on a doorbell camera just minutes after he allegedly committed a massacre. Police say he's the man who rammed his SUV into a massive crowd at a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin, Sunday.
You're hearing this carnage, like things are breaking and you're seeing things going up in the air, and then all of a sudden we see the truck go by.
Now, just about 48 hours after allegedly unleashing horror on a holiday parade, Brooks is facing a judge for the first time and has been charged with 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide and is facing a life sentence for each count. Charging documents total 62 people injured in the attack.
Today we learned of another death of a child related to this case. We do expect a 6th count for first-degree intentional homicide to be issued or added, to this case.
Brooks has an extensive criminal history dating back to the 1990s, is a registered sex offender in the state of Nevada, where he has an outstanding warrant from 2016, and was out on bail on other domestic abuse charges from earlier this month, where he allegedly hit the mother of his child with a closed fist and used his vehicle to run her over in the parking lot of a gas station.
Brooks' bail has been set at $5 million cash. He's set to appear in court again in January. Event planners in Fargo are on high alert after what happened in Wisconsin. We spoke with the planners of the annual Xcel Energy Holiday Lights Parade to see how their safety plans have changed. Police, fire, and city officials from both sides of the river have hired safety companies they've met this week to discuss safety. This year, those watching the parade from Veterans Bridge will stand behind a concrete barricade, offering more protection between the parade route and onlookers. Police are also working to get more heavy vehicles like snowplows and dump trucks staged at intersections. Event staff are also taking classes with Fargo Police to learn crisis mitigation to be prepared for any emergencies that may come up. The Holiday Lights Parade kicks off next Saturday at 6:30. Later on Valley News Live at 10, North Dakotans and Minnesotans are getting hit with high prices at the pump. How the move President Biden took today will help.
And we have big changes on the way. They begin as we head into the overnight hours. But first, what a gorgeous day. Awesome setting sun here with a lot of color in Devil's Lake. Your hour-by-hour forecast does include, well, some big changes. Some snow, some wind, and cold. Details are next.